I got home from New York last night. My flight was delayed, so I got home super late. And I'm like struggling on the little bit of time change with like the time zones. And I like basically got home at like 2, like 1:30 New York time. And I'm just like exhausted. And then like my kids jumped on me this morning at 6 and I was like, oh my gosh. So with school drop and like getting like my podcast equipment and like my bag unpacked and like everything else, I'm just like, what are we doing? So I might need another cup of iced coffee, but we're here. Thanks for bearing with me.
No, it's fine. I've done similar flights like that, where I would do. I think it was. I'm trying to recall. I think it was New York to Las Vegas. Is that considered a red eye? I don't know.
New York to Vegas would probably be a red eye because that's a good 5 hours, I would say. Vegas is like an hour-ish from Denver, and New York to Denver was 3:45.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait. Like, by flight, right? Not driving.
By flight. No,
yeah,
by flight.
What?
No, so you're looking at least an hour and a half flight of Denver to Vegas, I think. I want to say an hour at least. And so, so New York to Vegas would be a good 5 hours, I would imagine, or close to. So they would probably put that as a red eye.
But a red eye also means you have to take it, what is it, like at night, and then it's already morning by the time you get there, right? Something like that. So
you'd leave New York at like midnight, and then you'd get to Vegas. But with the time change, you would get to Vegas at like 2 a.m., right?
No, it'd be the reverse, right? It would be...
No, because you'd be leaving at midnight, which is like 7 p.m. No, sorry, 9 p.m. Vegas times is 3 hours behind.
It would be I'm talking about like the no sleep one, where you leave Vegas at 1 a.m. It's already morning in New York. You don't even get any sleep.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, if you left Vegas at midnight or at 1, that's 2 or 3 in the morning in New York. You'd be there at 7, 8 a.m. You're like ready to rock and
another
roll.
day.
So that reminds me, my husband and I, we went to Bali years ago. And when we were coming home, we went through Taiwan. And we were in Taipei, and so we had to go Taipei to Los Angeles. And it was funny because it's the same time zone. It's the same time change. So literally, like, we were drinking scotch at like 7 p.m. in the club at Taipei airport, right? And then like we landed at Los Angeles at LAX, and we met up with some friends, and we were drinking wine at like the same time and day, like 7 p.m. on the same day, because it's like literally the same time. And so we were just losing it because we were like, oh my gosh, like we just basically gained a day back when you fly like that way from Asia. And so you like land and you're like, oh, all right, we're doing the same day again. It's the same day. It's the same time. Here we are. And that was the same for, what was it? We went to Iceland, and we had a Denver to Reykjavik direct flight. And I think it was the same time change as it was the travel time. And so like literally when you leave, you like arrive at the same time that you left. I love flights like that because it kind of feels like time travel when you're like, ooh, like we didn't lose any time.
But it doesn't feel like time travel going the other way because you're actually losing time.
No, I know. Going the other way sucks. I would actually much prefer to go west to east than east to west. And I think actually my body just adjusts better. Like when I went Denver to New York, phenomenal, like adjusted perfectly. It was great. Got right into the time zone. Coming home, it was brutal. It was crazy. I don't know why it's so different. My dad was a pilot for 35 years, and he always said the same thing. He used to fly to Hong Kong and Egypt, like Jerusalem, all those massive, Tokyo. And he said whenever he would fly east to west, it was brutal. But when he would fly west to east, it was easier. I have no idea why.
I don't know. Maybe it's like how the light, I mean, this is just like all speculation, but it could be like how the sun is up and how it messes up your circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like, if I don't get, here's a weird thing. So I work late a lot, sometimes to like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And then I have a meeting at like 8 a.m. So really getting like 4 hours of sleep because it takes some time to wind down and time to wind up.
Sure.
I'm really tired, but if I just like go outside for like, as long as it's sunny outside for like 2 minutes, I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
go outside. Just open the window. Then I get readjusted. I'm like, all right, I'm awake. Oh, my cat.
That's what the experts say. The experts say whenever you're doing a time zone shift or you are not getting enough sleep, whatever it is, right? If you've lost some amount of sleep and your circadian rhythm is off, can't talk yet, you're supposed to go get sunshine. I think it was like 10 minutes, minimum of 10 minutes of sunshine, whatever you can get, right? Or go move, right? So like, anytime you get to a new place, scheduling time for walking or the gym or some type of movement, for you, maybe it's table tennis, right? Like it's just you land and you get right into something and you get outside, and that will kind of reset your circuit.
Yeah, I wish it was table tennis. Table tennis is actually quite stressful. It's
Oh,
hilarious
really?
because it's like when you play games, if you are not in it, you're just going to lose right away. You have no chance. It's not like pickleball where you can just bring the ball back. Like in a game, you have to read the serve, which is like the best way I can explain is like a baseball pitch. They can hide the curve.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally the same thing. If you're not paying attention, game's already over.
Okay.
And then you got to get
Wow.
in the rally. You got to do your own serves. You got to see what their weak. There's a lot of thinking involved, right? So, it's stressful when you are playing and you are like, I know I can do these things, but I can't right now, and it sucks. And then it's like the worst experience ever. Actually, the game's not fun.
Interesting. It's not fun. So maybe you should just land and go for a walk in the sunshine.
Yeah,
that's what you should do.
Yeah, business and table tennis are like kind of the same bucket for me. So it's like
that
both
makes
of them
sense.
get a lot of can bring a lot of joy, but can bring a lot of pain.
Yeah. So when you go to Tokyo, which way do you go? Do you go west or east?
Wait, what? If I go to Tokyo, I'm going west.
Yeah, but how do you prefer to get there? Because there are flights from different directions.
Oh, I would do the cheaper flight. So there's a thing I do, which is I fly to LA and then I hang out in LA. Like I actually leave the airport because I can do it. I'll stay there for one day because I have family in Orange.
Yeah,
like
I love
40
Orange.
minutes away.
Cool.
And then I have a lot of friends just in Irvine and Pasadena and stuff like that. So I'll just hang out in LA for a day. And then the next day I'll do a direct, you can do a direct flight from LA to Tokyo. It's a little cheaper than doing the either one layover or even just doing, I've learned it's even cheaper if you split the days up.
Oh, really?
I don't know if maybe the airlines know you're trying, because they know they have the data, but I just found it just it's not that much cheaper, but it's $100 or whatever. $100 is.
Well, that reminds me, speaking of connecting flights. Okay, so maybe this is an episode about travel hacking, right? Like, what do we do? Maybe we're talking about travel, right? That's fun.
Oh, I don't know. You're a travel expert. I don't travel a lot, to be honest.
Really?
Maybe domestically, I'm around, but because I'm in Houston and I'm based before I used to live in Chicago. I'm in the center, so I didn't really have. It's very easy.
That's the perfect place to be. I mean, those are great hubs, right? Like Houston and Chicago have so many.
So is Denver.
Amazing
Denver's kind of in the middle too.
Denver's a good hub. Denver's a good hub. I was going to say, speaking of flights, so coming home, I always try to find the cheapest airfare possible. I don't care how much money you make. I think that there is something to be said if you can find the cheapest flight possible wherever you're going. That for some reason that is my win. That just that's what I love to do. So I almost said I should be a travel agent because I'm really good at hunting deals and kind of piecing it together. So that tip you just gave me, I'm going to use it. I think that's fascinating. If you go and you break it up,
I'm not sure if you save money in that. No, I don't know if you save money. So here's my logic.
Yeah.
So either you give that $100 to $150 to the airline, or you give that $100 and $150
to a hotel
experience. You're not saving money. No. Well, I have relatives, so
got you. Yeah,
but I'm still spending money. There's Uber. There's food costs.
Yeah, so it's how do you want to spend your time with the same dollar amount?
Exactly.
I see.
So that's how I
see
things a lot. It's I'm not going to save any money. I'm going to be I don't want to give all this money to the airline.
Yeah,
I'm not able to see any friends. It's not. It's not
exactly.
Really
if I'm going to spend it, right, would I rather spend this couple hundred and then take a pause, take a beat in the city, go see some people, do some Ubers, do some food, right? That's amazing. And then you go and the airline's less. I actually love that. I love that you said that because it's almost like planning travel based on experience, which is like a brand experience or like the energy of it, which is great. I always do that. I think of the flow of the day when I'm planning travel and I'm planning the calendar of events. It's like, what's the flow of the day? And so there's two things that this just brought up that I wanted to share. One was that connection thing. So I always shop travel deals, right? So when they're having airline sales, like people think that I have a lot of friends that think that it is, like a hoax or spammy when they get all of those the flight sale emails. And I'm like, no, you should actually listen because they're really good. So
Mhm.
I always go on Southwest because we're a main Southwest hub here in Denver. And so for just US travel, Southwest is phenomenal. I love it. I used to fly United all the time for work and I can't stand it now. And so I'm a Southwest gal. And I think that when they do their flight sales, I mean, they are phenomenal. So how I got New York was I knew I had the trip out there. I had all my kayak flight alerts on, right? I have all my alert systems on for when the price is dropping. It's usually the sweet spot is 6 to 7 weeks ahead. It's usually that. If you go too early, sometimes it hasn't dropped yet, and then they have to see what loads are like. But usually 6 to 7 weeks. So I have my alerts on. So I looked at the flight sale, and you're gonna die. Like this was great. So I did one ways because I had to fly into Philly and fly home from New York. So I did a one way Denver to Philly. I think it was like $86. Okay, taxes included.
Mhm.
It was phenomenal. So that was one flight, great, direct, all good. Coming home, I was at a loss. I could not find a flight out of New York to Denver, and I was like, "Why? It's an easy direct flight. It happens all the time." I ended up. This is what you have to do. This is a hack. When you're looking at any of those flight sales, right, the fare sales, you actually have to go to surrounding airports because get how stupid this was. So I then searched all Denver airports and they had a LaGuardia to Colorado Springs flight. But guess what, Matt? It connected in Denver at DIA with a plane change and a 2 hour layover. So I was like, that's a LaGuardia to Denver direct flight, but that wasn't on the fare sale. It was
Mhm.
actually cheaper for me to go to a surrounding city, not make my connection and just just not board the plane. And it was like literally, I think it was like $89 for LaGuardia
Hold
to
on.
Colorado
I heard a
Springs.
couple stories. So like this was before COVID. It had been like 2018, 2017. One
Okay.
guy made an app that literally does this. Then he
Oh,
either got banned or whatever. Something happened.
he
The
got found out.
policy that came out of that is
Yeah.
these airlines now put a policy like they're going to ban you, like the individual now, if
Oh,
you do this.
no.
Well, no, I don't know which airlines are
Matt, you're
actively
crushing
doing
my
that.
dreams.
I'm just letting, well, it's in their best interest to not announce it
I
because they
see.
can, you know, I think it's one of those policies. It's not like a zero tolerance. It's like balance between a happy customer or get rid of them entirely. I think it's
Don't
that kind of
abuse
balance.
the system type of thing.
Right, to a certain extent. So
Interesting.
I think you're probably
Maybe I
okay
should have
doing it once in a while.
canceled. Maybe I should have canceled the connecting flight. I did get a little saucy email from Southwest this morning that was like, "We're so sorry. We have bad news." I was like, "Oh shit. What?" And it was like, "You did not make your connection to Colorado Springs last night. And so we've had to cancel the flight and no funds and no points will be issued for this flight." And I was like, "Oh, it's fine. I knew that." But perhaps they have a cancel before 10 minutes of the flight so that they're not looking for you, which is probably the more considerate thing to do. So I probably should have landed and then gone in and canceled that leg of the flight and just taken the loss for it just to give them a heads up. So maybe I'll do that next time so you don't get banned.
See if the saucy email still comes. I'm curious.
Right, I know, because it was kind of saucy. I love Southwest. I love how much their marketing and their communication feels human. I think they do a great job. So I was like, oh, there's like some sassy Sally on the other end of this email, but it's not. It's all auto. But it was great. So anyway, that's a little hack. So I do that a lot. Whenever you're looking at going somewhere, look at all the surrounding airports because sometimes they'll have those, but it'll literally be a connection to the main hub airport you're trying to go to. But that specifically isn't on sale. But it is if you just buy the connecting and then cancel the connecting flight.
Yeah.
It was great. I literally got to Philly and New York round trip from Denver for like, what is that, under $200? I mean, it was insane with taxes and fees. It was absolutely insane. I was
Do
like,
you work on the plane? I'm just curious. A lot of people like
sometimes
sleep. Yeah.
I have a policy of work-life balance even when I travel. So in my 20s, this is what made me a great work traveler with the hotel lobby tip. I traveled like 50 to 70% of the year straight for 4 years and worked remote. in that time, there are a few travel tips I will share. One, if you're traveling that much for work, even if it's 2 weeks a month, right? That's 50% of the year. You should have a already packed with the necessities that you can afford to duplicate. Checked or not checked carry-on bag. You should never check your luggage when you're traveling for work if you can avoid it, ever. And so you should always carry it on with you, and you should have a system. A wardrobe system is either a brown or a black week. So I always had like a brown belt and a brown pair of shoes with the matching coordinates of like khakis and navies and tans that week, right? And then I had like a travel set with whatever the weather was where I was going of a black week. So black belt, black shoes, and then it was all black and whites, and like maybe if you need more power, like reds in there, right? So like it's literally just easy. You just kind of have a uniform, if you will. And then you know that you buy fabrics and materials that roll up well. No wrinkle shirts for men. Women, you can get some blouses that are wrinkle free, or like a good knit material that you can roll. It doesn't wrinkle. Like these are all things that matter, right? And then you literally keep a toiletries bag packed. So anything that are your favorites, face care, skin care, deodorant, just get two. They're like $2, right? Like none of this stuff is really, really expensive. And then your favorite skincare line. If you go to Whole Foods and you're a female and you have like really high-end skincare, I'm 41, so it really matters to me. So actually, Whole Foods specializes in having a lot of really small travel size skincare that's more like natural or just like a higher quality, but it's not paying the travel size set that you would at like Ulta or Sephora, which is still $60 for a high-end skincare that bottle's this big. So Whole Foods has a lot of really good mix and match things. So like a cleansing oil that's really moisturizing because you get dry when you travel, a face oil, and then a cream on top of that. So I travel with that stuff. I don't necessarily use it at home, but I just keep it in my go bag, if you will. So it's almost like a go bag. If you're like in the CIA, they're like, oh, you have your go bag. You literally, when you're traveling that much, you just have a go bag and you have a system. You get an extra phone charger, leave it in the suitcase. I got a little $3 umbrella at New York that one day we were filming because it was pouring, $3, and now it's this big and it's adorable. And I just keep it in the pocket of my suitcase. So now it's my travel umbrella. So there are things that you realize, oh, that's nice to have. And you start accumulating on different trips. Like maybe I need sunscreen for here. Just keep a travel sunscreen in your suitcase. Keep a umbrella in your suitcase. So you're not having to redo it every time you go, which is exhausting. That's the exhausting part of prepping for travel. So if you have your systems and then you just know that those toiletries are set. So I literally have my makeup bag that I go to and from. And then there's a couple of things like toothbrush and toothpaste, but you can even have double of that and then just leave the extra in the bag. That way, every time you go, you only have to refresh that quarterly, typically with that amount of travel. So you're living life half on the road and half at home. And those systems help a lot. And then like if you're bringing suiting, you go get it dry cleaned. Maybe you have like one travel blazer you always bring in, you dry clean that. So there's just kind of systems you can do to make it easier. And the other thing I was going to say, now I can't remember what it was, but I think that's the end of that for travel. But being a good traveler means preparing yourself ahead of everything else that would feel stressful. So if packing for you feels stressful, then you do that. You have those systems. So now I'm unpacking here. And the beauty is I got home, like I said, late last night. I didn't get a lot of sleep, quality sleep. My 6-year-old woke me up at 2 a.m. I was like, well, welcome home, man. Like you got 3 nights of uninterrupted sleep and here we are in mom mode. And this morning was school drop, getting everybody out the door, right into a work day. And so unpacking now. So now it's the coming off of the trip. And that's usually there is a certain element of energy with the buzz and adrenaline of travel. You naturally get back into your home environment. And if it's not on a weekend, which most business travel, I do Tuesday through Thursday. The cheapest days to fly are actually Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you can actually get like a Tuesday flight and then come home late Wednesday night, if you have 2 days of work there, that's like the cheapest combination I've found. Every other day of the week, everybody thinks Monday. Monday is so expensive to fly. Like actually a Saturday to a Tuesday is like the cheapest flight combo I found, because that's a weird work time. But if you can figure out how to do that, those are really cheap flights. what was I going to say? Oh, the energetic letdown after you complete a trip, either for work or for pleasure. There is something to that, right? You have to unload the bag. You have to do laundry. You have to get organized at home. I don't like that. Personally, it's not depression. It's just there's like a sadness to it. Like that trip is over. I was looking forward to this for so long. I did it when I was there. Oh, that's what I was going to say. My next point. I'll get there. And then you get home and you're like, okay, now I'm back in home life. I missed home life. I love being home. But also, it's still Friday. I still have a work day. The kids are in school, and then we get to go chill. But I don't want to be wasting my weekend time settling back in, right? So when you have those systems that you pack and what you leave in the bag and what you take out, I'm only taking out clothes, my hairbrush, which I could even get a second hairbrush to leave in there, a few of my toiletries, the rest, it all stays packed. And then I zip it up and I put it in the basement for my next trip. So it feels a little easier to get back into it. But what I was going to say about the energy of travel, what you said earlier that I loved. When I go to a really fast-paced city like New York, I used to go to Toronto a lot for work. I love Toronto. Toronto is just New York, but bigger. I mean, it's massive. I love Toronto. The energy of those cities. I plan my days based on what kind of energy I know I need to sustain my time there. So if I gave myself like a 2-hour break, like what I would do at home, right? I give myself a little more admin time, a little more downtime because I'm in Denver. It's different. In New York, when I'm going to a city like that, I plan 3 days of literally meetings and meeting places that are within a 10 to 30 minute walk of each other or a subway. And it's back to back. Because if I give myself any downtime that feels a little too long, that I don't know if I want to go to the hotel and like chill, or I want to go like sightsee or get a snack. Like I'm confused about what to do with a little bit of extra downtime between things in those cities because my nervous system is so high and alert and like the adrenaline is just buzzing. I can't. So I just like lean into that. And literally for 3 days this week, I'm coming off of back to back to back to back meetings, some social, some work, some this, that, coffee, lunch, here, there, let's go facilitate, let's go do my workshop pitch, like just cranking. So your brain doesn't have time to interject and say, whoa, this is a lot. You just do your day. And then at night when you're done, you're like, ah, and then you can go and enjoy the hotel and the city lights and all that. That's how I like to do it. So I think like energetically speaking, when you plan your travel, I think it's really important to pay attention to the flow of how you want your money to serve you, like where you want to be and what your personality needs. If you need a 2-hour break in the middle of your day to work out, great. If I did that this week in New York, it would have killed my flow. Like the flow state I get into is social. It's like the social flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like this
That's
person.
same as my wife.
Really? I love that. Like that is my work this week was people, which I loved. It was connecting. I barely was on my computer. And that was your question, bringing it back. See, Anne is getting back on the highway. Matt, you said, do you work on the plane? If I have had a day where I have put out so much energy, I will not work on the plane because I will treat myself to some downtime because I didn't give myself that during the day. So I watched a movie. If the plane doesn't have Wi-Fi, I consider work also listening to a lot of the books that I listen to for self-development, being a better boss, being a better creator, being a better business person. So I actually consider work audible as well. So my flight home didn't have Wi-Fi. My flight there did. So I watched a movie. This is interesting. I will listen to an audiobook. So I finished a whole audiobook last night on 1.8 speed on the 3-hour, 45-minute flight. It was fascinating. But I will work in the airport before the flight. That will be my email, admin, checkup, see if anything's on fire. What is someone waiting for me? I forgot I had a few things. Oh, shit. That was due on Wednesday. Here you go. Check in, admin time. Airport equals admin time. So I get to the airport 2 hours ahead. I fill my water. I bring my food. I don't bullshit around with like dinking around the airport. I literally treat it as an office. So airports, and hotel lobbies are very cozy offices for me. I just love working there. So that's my admin time. Admin time's there so that on the flight is my treat. I get a movie or an audiobook, or I settle into writing. Maybe I'll just open my laptop and write something. So what do you do? Do you work on flights?
Yes. So I treat a flight as like, so I'm the reverse. I can't work in an airport because I just love eating good. Like there's always good food. Usually there's always good food somewhere. I can't
True.
like focus if I'm smelling like good food. So
Oh,
I'd rather just kind of relax. And I used to travel a lot in my 20s. I don't do this anymore, but I used to have this rule called the Dalai Lama rule, which is you walk in the airport and you are the Dalai Lama. And this was from a blog article somewhere on the internet. And the idea is if you treat everything as if you're the Dalai Lama, then no obstacle is a problem. If the line's going to be 2 hours, so be it. I arrive 4 hours early. If the if the gate got changed, no problem. I arrived 4 hours early, right? You treat everything in just long periods of time. And because of that, every time I go to the airport now, because I used to just wander airports back in my 20s, just so I would guarantee I'd never miss a flight. Well, these days now it's like, well, I'm the complete opposite. But if I am at the airport a little early, I know how to navigate really well. So I'm like, I'm gonna find the best food and just chill out, even if it's only 5 minutes.
That's so cool. That's totally a different approach than mine. I love that.
Oh no, the whole thing's chaotic. Actually, so this my wife. This drives my wife's crazy because I still travel, but everything's spontaneous. So when you talk about buying tickets, I don't travel by planning. And you know this from the Colorado trip when I visited for the podcast. Like we talked about it, but everything was the actual dates were last minute.
True.
Like we knew the range, but we didn't know the timing. We didn't know anything. I didn't know where I was staying. It was like all last minute. So that's basically how I travel. I'm not really looking so much from a cost end. I only have so many things in my head, and things that could be decided last minute do not need to be in my head rent free, right? If it means the last minute thinking could be done all it doesn't like it. I'm clearly not saving any money doing that, but I'm thinking of it as it is something I don't need to just keep in my brain and have it as like another, like, oh, I got to remember to do that. I like everything clear in my head, even though I have a to-do list and to-do app. If you look at my to-do list, there's like 999, a little notification bubble. It's like, I don't like half the things I don't even I keep it because it's still a good list to have for the day to day, but I do everything last minute. So the booking, I know I have to fly in Chicago in October 15th, but I don't want to book it right now because that means if I book it, I got to start planning it. Now it's going to live in my head for the next like 30 days, 34 days. Fair. And just thinking of like, I have this trip. I don't want to think about that. Right when I have the trip is when I want to think about it.
Interesting. Okay.
So I don't want to keep it. I just totally disconnect it from my head.
So you just want to do it. You don't want the anticipation of the thing to be taking up mental space.
No, exactly. I mean, there's just so much hard things during the day. I don't need to make these things that I don't want to have these other little things getting, little distractions just being in the way. And that's what they do. They do become distractions because once you book that flight, there's something that kicks off in your head that says, hey, I'm about to travel. Like every morning or every other day, hey, I'm about to travel. Hey, I'm about to travel. I don't want that. That's like another annoying alarm that happens.
Okay. But that to you, that feeling, that pull is a negative thing. Whereas for me, that pull is a positive thing. And so when I book a flight, I then go, oh, I'm excited. I can't wait to go do that trip. And so that little reminder that you're talking about, it is there when you book a trip and you know it's coming. I'm like, ooh, that's exciting. Ooh, that maybe today I'll book my hotel. That'll be fun to look for. Ooh, am I going to need a car or what's my transportation? Maybe I'll look into that next week. Like my brain, I love this actually. It's very much like what kind of stress is the anticipation of something big that comes, and does it get to live in your brain, right? So when you have travel, it can be very stressful. Is it eustress or is it, what's the opposite of eustress?
Eustress. What do you mean? Eustress?
Eustress is like positive, right? It's stress, but it's a positive stressor. It's
I have no
eustress is
positive stress. There's no such thing as positive stress for me. If
okay.
there's stress,
All right.
it's terrible.
So I enjoy the pressure. I am a natural born procrastinator. And when I realized this about myself over a decade ago, I realized that for those big deliverables or those big projects or like a big trip, right? It's all a huge like undertaking of a thing, right? And so that thing for me, I can't, I'm not very good at breaking all of those things down into little steps and just kind of doing it, chipping it away over time. I want to just get into it and like do it all at one time. But for me, if the pressure isn't there for the due date approaching, I didn't actually like to do it. But with travel, I learned that the more I found other pleasures in breaking those down into smaller increments because I enjoyed the anticipation that would linger in a small amount every single day leading up to it. Whereas if I did it all last minute, I didn't get to enjoy the anticipation. Now, I almost enjoy the anticipation of a trip more than the actual trip. It's like a toss up. I like that. It's a really good stress for me. Now, if it's like a big project, I know I need that pressure. So this is what's really hard when I was working for myself in the beginning and I didn't have anyone putting a deadline on me unless it was for a client. Those big projects or those big thinking, those big, huge things that we have to kind of strategize as a founder, they weren't really getting done. So I started using friends or family or other colleagues said, hey, I need to talk through this with you and I need you to give me deadlines when you want to see certain pieces of this done, or else I'm just not going to get it done because I'm such a procrastinator. So now I know if I have a really big project due, if I have a client project due, if I have a proposal, I actually will put it the day before or sometimes hours before it's due or when I know they need to see it, because I know it's bullshit on my calendar. I'm going to keep moving that closer and closer to when it's due because I need that pressure. Because that pressure feels good to me. I work really well under pressure. If I don't have the pressure, that's positive for me. If I don't have the pressure, I actually don't get as much fulfillment out of doing it.
I think we all do pretty well under pressure. I mean, like I'm the same way, but it's a different pressure. So, I used to be the same way with deadlines. Not anymore. I'm not sure what has changed, but deadlines don't really do anything. Let me give you an example of where, because I don't even know exactly, but here's a really good example or exercise. If you were at a poker table and you are forced to play, you no choice, you have to play for an hour, right?
Okay.
That's it. Just play an hour. The stakes is everything. So your entire net worth, your entire family, your entire everything. Let's just say it. You could check the whole way you could just lose a little bit just for an hour. That's fine.
Sure.
Does that give you stress or not? Just thinking about that.
No,
you're at the
because
table.
You gave me the way out. If I could check the whole way, and just kind of
losing a little bit. Still losing a little bit.
That's fine. But if I could check the whole way and only lose a little bit, but I'm getting to actually play the game of poker, which I love, I'm okay with that. If you didn't give me that out of saying I can't. If I have to play,
you get pocket aces and it's heads up, everyone else folded, and the other person is trash. Still fold?
No.
See, then this is different because if you don't fold, the person who's trash can still win. Now, you play small stake, you don't have to bet.
Yeah.
Hard. But so we relate here then. Where I think we differ is in the same situation. I don't mind playing. Like the real game. I don't mind going up and down.
You don't mind losing everything?
I don't mind. I could, and that's, and I have no stress about it.
Interesting. And I do. I have stress about that. If I could check the whole time and you gave me that out, I would definitely play.
That's why I brought it up, because I don't want to put people in a tough situation. It's like, no, I'm purposely not checking the whole time.
No, if I have pocket aces and it's heads up. I mean, I would play.
I wouldn't even look at my hand 20% of the time in that same scenario. Because I play. My strategy is a little different. I mean, I could even without looking, I could just play only dealer button or right before dealer button. Right, it's the same thing. 7-2 is could be just as powerful at dealer button.
True.
So, that's where my head's at a lot. So
Interesting.
I don't have any stress there.
I'm playing poker next Friday, by the way. The first time I was invited to one of my fellow CEO friends. He's one of the ones I do the workshop with. His company has like a huge poker night. I don't even know if any women go. I have no idea, but I got invited because he said he listened to the podcast and you introduced me as a poker shark. And he goes, "And I had no idea that you like poker. I listened to your podcast and here you are. You're on our poker list." So I got invited and I'm like, I'm in. Let's do it.
If it's a place we can record a podcast, I don't mind playing. I don't mind flying to play poker. I do that.
Oh my gosh. We should totally record a poker podcast.
I would have at least 2 guests who would be on.
That would be
guaranteed.
fun.
It's guaranteed good content.
It's great content. Yeah. So I'm a little rusty because I haven't gotten to play an actual poker game with, not at a casino, right? Like an actual table game.
2 ways to do it, because I take breaks all the time. I used to be super active before COVID, and then COVID just stopped the whole thing. And now I'm even interested. I'll be at a table. I don't care. Up 5,000, down. It doesn't even bother me. I'm just not interested anymore. But if I do want to win, and I feel like I don't have a good read on things, there's 2 ways to do it. Just play by odds and math, and it's like very simple. It's boring, but if you just want to be like, hey, maybe you need like a pick me up, and I just want to win, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, just do the math strategy and just play right positioning, and you have a very good chance. And then the other way is to just play, reduce the amount of hands you're playing regardless of what they are. So
you're checking more, or you're just folding more?
No, you're folding, or you're folding or checking.
So you're just not engaging with it as much.
You're
folding more.
This is what I was mentioning earlier. You can just engage at 2 positions only, and we'll just say those are the only 2 positions you'll ever play. And those are also good sure
that's
shots,
a cool
because
rule.
Even if you're only doing that, people know you're playing tight. Either way, it looks like you're playing tight, even though you might just have a system. So the perception of it means tight. So even betting, you already have a little bit of strength, regardless of what you have. And most likely, if you're actually playing that system and going in, you most likely do have a good hand too. So not only is the optics good, your position's good. The only people calling you are just really want to fish, or they're really strong. So it's really easy for you to read that, right? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but when you're playing that rule, are you looking at your hands?
Oh, I'm a little different. For me, if I'm rusty, it's always best I'd never look.
Yeah, because then your mind's going to come in and try to figure it out if you're rusty, and that fucks everything up.
Not necessarily, because there's 2 types of poker, right? You can play like online poker or live poker. The reason online poker is just all about just odds. It's really just more of a math equation. I find that very boring.
Yeah.
So if I'm actually going to play poker,
I play poker because I like playing people. That's why I play poker. I play the table. I play the people. I love playing the dumb blonde card.
There's live reading.
That gets me out of a lot. Like, I will literally ask questions in the beginning, like, okay, what wins? What beats this? Like, I'll just kind of ask questions. And then a lot of the dudes, and mostly I play with old white men, to be honest. If I play table poker, that's usually where I'm invited. So I use that to my advantage. A little bit of the acting degree comes into play. In Vegas, that's how I got to like the second or third table of this like 8-hour tournament. I was so bored at the end of it. I like needed to go to the bathroom and I needed to go to bed. So I was like, I'm done. I've had my fun. So I just purposely folded and just purposely went all in and was like, I'm out. But how I got to it was mostly 60, 70, 80-year-old white men. And I was like this 20-something. It was back when I traveled a lot for work. I was in Vegas all the time. So I went and played like a whole night, one night. And I had to work the next day. Like, I was like, what am I doing? It was like 4 a.m. I was like, I just want to go to bed. So I was out. That's what I do. It's a great strategy, but I love playing people, right? The cards, I've played blackjack for 7 hours straight. I took away a lot of money.
Blackjack's
and I also
a little different.
Blackjack's different, but I love cards. Like, there are nights where I just love the game. And that was the blackjack night. That was like, I was using my brain. I don't drink when I play. Like, I just love the strategy of the game. But then after a while, I was like, whoa, I just sat at this table for 7 hours and still walked away with $700, which was up like I think I started with 200. Okay. It was great. It was a good night of play.
That was blackjack?
Blackjack.
Huh.
I will be fine leaving a table if I've played for a few hours and I lose a couple $100, however much I start with, $400 or $500, because that's my cost of fun. That's me going out to a really nice dinner and having drinks or whatever, right? That's like my night. So I'm usually good with like, I get a really great time of playing in. I got experience. I got to have fun. I usually with friends. I don't mind losing, right? Like that's the cost to play. And that's how I see gambling here at Blackhawk in Colorado. And so I used to I'll go up like once or twice a year and do that. But if I am playing poker, I don't like playing poker at casinos against a dealer. It's not as fun for me. I'm playing poker not to play the card.
When you play poker, you're not playing against a dealer.
Well, you're playing against the table, but it's not the same. I don't like poker at casinos.
It's not a social thing. It's more of a... Yeah,
you got it. You got it. It just seems more transactional. Whereas when I like to play poker, I like poker nights. I like engaging with the people. I like reading people. I like to see, if someone who's been holding it tight and then all of a sudden is like ballsy and making a huge bet. Like there's the highs and lows of a poker game that's social. And the conversations that you get into, and then distracting people, and then they're playing their cards and they're doing math and they're trying to figure it out. And you're like, this doesn't even matter.
Well, social night doesn't matter. I mean, social night, you just kind of shooting the shit anyway.
That's the poker I love.
So the stakes are different. So
yes,
when I play poker, and this goes back, and I'll tie this in with, going back to that kind of pressure and the travel thing. But yeah, poker, when I'm playing poker, there's usually one or two folks at the table where they're probably playing with their mortgage.
Oh shit! You think so?
Oh no, 100%. We would talk about it. You can tell within 15 minutes. If you're targeting someone, you can kind of break down like how do they make a living? Why are they here? Yeah. Because you have to. That's the one thing about live poker I like is if you can get behind a little bit of like the psychology piece of it, you can play certain patterns that feed off that or don't feed off of it, right? You can pick which side you want to play on. Right. And that's the part I love. So when people are playing with their mortgage and you're saying, I'll give you an example. Say I'm first at, I don't know, river, whatever's the end. We're at the river. River's already showing. I'm first to act. There's one person next to me and another person after that. Okay. There's only 3 people. The person on my left immediately, we'll just say they are the ones playing with their mortgage. They have near the nuts. We'll say we're playing. We'll say their mortgage is like $4,000. Okay. They have 3,200 on the table. They're probably up double. So maybe they bought in for like 1,000 or 1,500 or whatever, a little bit over double. So they have a little bit over double. If they lost, they only lost maybe half the mortgage or a quarter of it. So that's where their positioning is. I have a little bit more money than they do. I shove. It doesn't matter what I have. I shove. You have this guy who's playing with their mortgage. They have second, maybe not second to nuts, but something high, pretty high enough, strong enough, but not super strong where you can just instant call. Now you have to worry about 2 things. If I call, what does the guy on my left do? Because it's much easier beating 1 person than 2. Correct. And then the second thing is the guy who shoved, is this a power play or does he really have it? Because you think about it, if we got to the river and I didn't shove in the beginning, why shove now? Right. The person, what happens is, and this is like a tried and true pattern, the person in the middle often folds, even if they have the strongest hands. Because it's too much. You got pressure on both sides. It's too much. Yep. The pressure. Yes. And you got pressure of the psychology piece of like, you're playing with your mortgage. You could just fold and still come out on top and cash out. Yeah. You're not going to be happy. You could break even at that point, right? Like he's maybe they're probably still up. They're probably still up, but it's like, okay. So that is the piece I love. It's like when you try to figure out everyone's source of income, sometimes it's here's the one I like is the old Asian lady, not always Chinese, old Asian lady just pulls out just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Yeah. And then like, just one random person comes by and gives her more money in the purse. I'm like, what is going on? Whose money is she playing with? Grandma? And I learned Then I learned she'll just leave. It just always happens. They just leave randomly, usually whether they're down or up, and then be like, I was just waiting. I was like, what? You're waiting? You just went up and down like $1,000 to $2,000 up and down for like 15 minutes. I'm like, what is going on? And I was like, that's what I love about live poker. It's like all these scenarios. So I'm not really big on the social poker because I already know everyone's, within one session, by the next session, I already know everyone's tells. Everything's predictable. They already know mine. It's like, all right, I don't even care what I do. Then I lose the go back to pressure. Then there's zero pressure on me. I don't even have to think. Like it's really just luck. It's more of a luck.
Got it. So it gets dull fast.
Super fast.
So what kind of poker do you enjoy playing then?
Like I love going to. So when I go to Vegas, I'll bring like usually 5,000 in cash with me. Either with me or I'll just deposit. I'll just get a withdrawal at the bank or whatever. And I'll just play like I need to play something with where there's other people. The livelihood of the livelihood is dependent on that game. I like playing tables where there's some of those players because you can't do that at 1-2, right? 1-2, no one gives a shit.
True.
But you're playing even 2-5, 5-10, 10-20. That's when it's like people get nervous when they lose. I love that one. That's my favorite type of game because I don't get nervous. I don't care. When I lose, okay. I mean, there's a limit. I put a limit on it.
Because you're playing with funds that you don't mind losing for what you're doing out there.
No, I do mind. No, I do mind.
Oh, you do mind?
Yeah. See, this goes back into.
So explain that.
The pressure, right? No one wants to lose 15,000. Think about it. No one. That doesn't matter how much money you make. No one wants to lose 15,000, especially when the trip to even get there only costs like a couple $1,000s, right? With hotel, whatever, a few. So you don't want to lose that much money. No one does. So it's just, I'm not emotionally attached to it. Right. I mean, I got $15,000. I have $15,000 to spare to get here. So just do it again. It's not a matter of, it goes empty. It's like, well, to get more doesn't feel that difficult. It's just temporary pain. So you go back into, this goes, tying it back to the airline stuff. That goes the same with planning, and it goes the same with how I handle travel. It is, my system is keep it really simple. Don't overcomplicate things, because even if something messes up, well, I got to keep traveling all the time anyway. It doesn't matter if I mess up this one time. What if I do everything perfect, but the airline messes? There's weather, some random shit happens, right? That is out of my control. So what's the point? For me, there's really no point into planning that hard, that much. If I forget something, great. I get to buy, if say I forgot a blazer, or I knew like the blazers are going to get wrinkled if I packed it because I didn't plan it right. I was like, okay, great. I get a new blazer when I land. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like, that's amazing because I need a new one. Or when I forget toiletries, same thing. It's like, okay, whatever. I pay the premium at the airport, or maybe give me an excuse to say, well, I can go to CVS, which could be cheap unless it's Las Vegas. Las Vegas CVS sucks.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible. Yeah.
Las Vegas CVS, I went there to get like
holy shit.
It's
toothpaste is like $8.
Everything's like inflated. Like water's like $8. Like they figured that whole place out.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, like anywhere else, I'm like, all right, I don't mind going to CVS. It's actually a good thing because I don't have to worry about packing. So it's like I pack last minute. Everything's last minute. Yeah. The only thing I do plan a little bit is table tennis because I have to have a racket. Sure. And I have to have shoes and shirts.
I see.
If I cannot play unless I have those three things. I can play with like bad shorts or whatever, or even like just shorts I'm not really supposed to play in table. I'm still fine with that as long as they're shorts. Yeah. But the other three I need. So the night before, because my laptop bag has everything, I put those essentials with my laptop in my laptop.
Smart. It's everything that you can't replace easily on the road. So right.
I'm the minimal viable travel person.
Yeah. So that's great.
If I lost everything, the laptop bag is still, that's it. Everything else is yours. The laptop bag stays with me, never gets checked in. It's it's a really small, compact bag. And it has everything I need to survive from a digital end.
That's what I do too. I have everything on my person that I can't easily replace in the city. So anything in my in my luggage that's going to be the carry-on is like clothes, toiletries. I can literally, like you said, I can go replace it. It's a pain in the ass. I have to go out of my way to do it, but I will do that, right? But anything in my laptop bag, or now this is actually a really cool thing. New York was a great trip for me to test. I've been using MyFitFoods meals for like 6 months because I just don't like meal prepping. Food's always been a big stressor for me to figure out. So I love it. I've been getting like weekly meals from them, lunch and dinner for 6 months.
Nice.
So for me, it's also super affordable, right? So any of the meetings in New York that weren't a business meeting lunch or a business dinner or business breakfast, I calculated how many meals I would need outside of that, and I brought it. And I actually looked up TSA. I looked at like all the prep. So now I comfortably travel with food in carry-on. So I have like a cooler backpack. I bring my ice packs, and then I bring my food, which is usually frozen or just cold. It's all prepackaged. And then I have like my stuff on top of that. So I had like a whole system. So food for me is non-negotiable. I think that when you travel, it's the easiest thing to splurge and spend a ton of money on. You have a couple of meals that are fun, right? That are out, that are amazing. But other than that, like the consistency, I don't feel well if I'm out of routine for more than one meal a day. I thrive at like my highest capacity for workout, fitness. Okay, New York, let's just talk about this. I got over 40,000 steps in this week in 3 days. So I walked like 13K, 15K. And then one night I took a dance class on top of walking. So it was like 18,000 steps in a day. And then it was like 11K the other day. So like my steps this week were phenomenal. My body felt amazing because I was feeding it the normal food and macros and everything I already do. And then I just had like a few other business meals in there. That's another hack, right? Like if you know that you do well on food and you have a system of food at home, bring some of that food with you and don't do every meal out on your trip or else you're going to feel like garbage.
I'm
And you're
also the opposite.
You're not going to sleep well.
But
yeah.
I'm pretty selective. Like I'm the person to go to like the juice bar, or I eat Chipotle every day. Like if you look.
Oh, really?
This is a whole conversation. I eat Chipotle. Like after this, I'm probably gonna have Chipotle.
So Chipotle is one of your prepackaged meals. Got you.
Yes,
Got you.
It's $9.69. So it's a super. You can't beat that value for the health benefits.
It's great. Yeah.
So like even if I cook, I'm losing time. This time is the time loss is kind of important for me. So it's like Chipotle. I can go to Chipotle, eat, come back, and it's only been 20 minutes. I'm back in my chair, whatever I'm doing in 20 minutes.
You said something fascinating though. When you start calculating time as a cost into what the thing is, I've done that for a while as well. I'm with you. When it's time and money doesn't matter. It's the time involved. If you're going to attend something for 2 hours and it's $100 or whatever, I don't care about the $100. The money thing is whatever. It's the time. Do I want to give you the currency of my time?
Right.
For that thing, because that is more expensive to me than any dollar.
So what's changed? So we talk about the airport, right? So like I used to be the Dalai Lama in the airport. I'm now in reverse. I will wait. So if my flight, this happens a lot. You talk about cheap flights. My cheapest flight is always 7 a.m. no matter where I go. So 7 a.m. flight is like the cheapest one. Yeah. So that means I'm up. I got to be up pretty early.
4?
I'm stupid. 3? I am really stupid. No.
2?
That used to be if I was in my 20s, it would be 3.
If you were the Dalai Lama of the airport, you'd get
2:30, about 2:30. I think 2:30. I would be up 2:30, get there at 3:30.
Okay.
These days, if my flight departs, not boarding, departs at 7:10, I will be up at 5:45. The Uber, once I get up, as long as I order the Uber, you order the Uber. You just order the Uber the second you get up. If I don't shower, I don't shower, but usually I have enough time. You order the Uber. If I know it's a weird day, what I'll do, sometimes my wife reminds me, I'll do the Uber pre-schedule from the previous day. You can like pre-schedule, which is actually better. I try to do that more. Yeah. Because if you can't find one, you're kind of fucked. Yeah. Or I drive. I hate driving the airport and I'm paying like a lot of money.
The pre-scheduled Uber is the way to go with that one.
Yes. I do like that better. But sometimes I just forget. And it's just like, okay. My wife usually reminds me. So anyway, so 7:10, so 5:45 wake up. Uber gets there. If it's pre-scheduled, usually I'll pre-schedule for 5:55, 10 minutes after I wake up.
Oh, Matt. If needed only 10 minutes to get ready.
Well, so
Go on.
The night before, everything is like what I thought was put in a bag. And I just don't think about it. If I forgot something, I forgot something. I don't care. I know it's like the night before was already. So wake up, If I see the Uber time is 15 minutes from the time I wake up, I'll shower. If it's like it says like 4 minutes away, I'm like, I'll splash water on myself and just go.
Mm-hmm.
It comes. I am the IEH is about 30 minutes. No, during this time there's no traffic, so it's about 20 to 30 minutes away.
Okay.
So 5:55, you're now at 6:25, 6:20.
Mm-hmm.
Security sucks at IEH. It used to be really good, but they're doing construction, so now it's like a shit show. So you're sitting in security for 20 minutes. So you're at 6:40,
45.
6:25, 6:45.
Mm-hmm.
It's already boarded. Boarding has already started for a 7:10 flight.
Sure.
So get past security. Oftentimes, the gate to walk is about 10 minutes. I walk pretty fast. I can get there 10 minutes. My wife would be 20 minutes. She wants to take her time. I don't mind walking, like super fast. I don't mind running, really. And by the time I get there, it's about 6:55, 7. Yeah, and I'm at United, so like I'm supposed to have this like pre-boarding thing or whatever, like where you can board early. It's like I'm always like at the end and be like, no, I'm just late, and then just sit in and then ready to go. And then they lock. Usually, what happens is 5 minutes later, they lock the door. They lock the cabin door, and like we take off. That is my typical error, like in the beginning. And then when I get in the airplane, that's when I work because I did all this adrenaline rush.
You're amped up to work.
Yes.
But here's the thing, Matt, that doesn't allow you any room for oh shits. What if there is a car accident stalling?
Oh, no, so be it. And then let's take the next plane.
I see. Okay, got it. So I agree with you on one part of that whole thing. Otherwise, that just rocked my nervous system listening to that. And I was like, oh, fuck. There's no pressure. Stressful.
There's no pressure for me, though. Like that.
That is so much pressure for me. So here's what I love. I actually agree with this. When I am flying an airline that has assigned seats, never pre-board. You are never the first person on the plane, ever. If you have an assigned seat, you are the last person on the plane because you don't care. I agree with you there. You get there later, you take your time, you're the last person on the plane, you're good to go. If you are on Southwest where it's open seating, I got to check in at the second check-in is open, and then I'm there because this is why. We were noticing this yesterday. There was another gentleman on my flight. We were both laughing about it. We both travel often or have a lot of experience traveling. And we're both in the exit row. And there was exit rows were open. And we were like B7, like mid Bs. And I'm like, how are exit rows still open? He goes, I don't get it. He goes, all the A1 through 20s that like come on pre-board or early, don't come back to the exit row. He's like, unless you have a tight connection to like get off that plane quickly, go exit row. Like you have so much space to work. You're not crammed with your laptop in your lap, like all the things. And nobody ever goes back to the exit row. You think first means front. Well, front of the plane is actually shitty. You don't want to be in the front of the plane. That's where the bathroom line is. That's where all the activity is, So anyway, we were both laughing at like our strategy. If you're just going, you have no tight connection, exit row is the way to go. No one sits there. Everyone passes up the exit row. And then even a middle, they tell you all the time, this flight is sold out. We need volunteers to check your luggage, blah, blah, blah. They say it on every flight because every flight's sold out now, right? So people are literally, like we're studying like human logic, right? And so this gentleman and I were having this fun time last night on this plane. And we were like, okay, he's on the aisle. I'm at the window, okay? And then there's a middle open in an exit row. And everybody kept passing out and they were asking, is anyone sitting there? We're like, no. And then they're like, oh, but it's a middle. And they went to the back. I'm like, yo, like you would rather go to a middle in the back without all the extra leg room versus taking a middle with all the extra leg room that's right here in the middle of the plane. Like it made no sense to me of logic, right? Like you're going to take the best seat. The best seat, number one, is always exit row if you don't have to get out in a hurry. And I don't understand how people don't take those first, but it's to our advantage because they are like always available.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought of it from like a assigned versus unassigned, because it's a good point. If I was doing unassigned, for sure, I think my calculus would change because it
has to.
I don't want a shitty seat either.
No, or assuming the back row middle. But no, that's fascinating. Actually, I used to do that a lot when I was on United for work travel. I was always United or Delta or something.
Yeah, that's what I take right now is United.
Yeah, and I would always have assigned seats, or even better, first class. I got bumped up a tent with just how much I flew. I was always upgraded to first class, so that was a really bougie thing in my 20s. It was like first class, and then I was at all the hotel lounges because I had all the points. And I traveled so much. Trent and I did Cabo, Iceland, and our honeymoon in Greece, all for free on all of the points that I
Good
acquired
points.
for work travel. So we just like
Yeah, I
travel
think right
hacked it.
now I am on every 10 flights is basically a free round trip flight. I think that's where
That's
I'm at. Or
awesome.
maybe one flight, maybe one flight. I don't
On
know.
United, you're United.
Yeah, yeah. Because I've done this. I for a long time I didn't care about points, and then like, oh, let's just try it anyway. So like 4 years
You
ago, I
should
was like,
care about points.
I mean, because I didn't travel after 27. I really stopped traveling as much. Besides going to like, besides leisure, a
Oh,
little bit of leisure, I stopped. And then
yeah.
just like right when COVID started lifting, I started traveling a lot. And then
Yeah.
I was like, let's just try this points things.
Yeah.
I'm not too big on points, but I was like, oh, let's just try it out.
Well, a
Um,
tip real quick on points for hotels, even if you're not going to do it often, is still hold a rewards count or an honors, points account with that hotel system, because oftentimes you don't even have to have the reward status to have upgrades and perks when you check in. What happens is it IHG hotels, and then there's another one. It's not just Hilton Honors, but there's like IHG and there's something else, Marriott Bonvoy, I think. There's certain reward systems if you're just in and then you check in and they say, oh, do you have rewards with us? You just simply have an account, even if it's like a zero or little to no status balance on it. And oftentimes, if you have the account, they will start doing now because hotels are suffering. Like, not a lot of people are doing hotels are doing a lot of VRBO and Airbnb. And so hotels are
I started going to
often,
reverse.
you what?
I started going reverse. Airbnb, I always found like they're getting dirtier and dirtier, and
They
I'm just like,
are, and their
I'm just
fees are
like,
skyrocketing. But the
yeah.
thing is that I found is that I don't travel enough to have status. But when you
Mhm.
hold the account with them, you still get a few points here and there, but they treat you better. So some of the hotel systems will actually, just for holding an account with them, give you extra water or upgrade you to an executive floor room. And they're like,
Mhm.
oh, we actually have some rooms available. Let's just upgrade you for free. You will be amazed at just holding an account for rewards with them with no status. It's actually getting you more now post COVID. It's really been fascinating
Well,
to me.
so you mentioned like so with points. So you mentioned like what happens if I miss my flight. Um, the thing is, I don't book the flight where the land time is very close to what I need to do. So often,
Oh, interesting.
if possible, I
Mm-hmm.
will book um, about usually if like I have my meetings at like 2, then I want to be at the place around like 8 or 9. So even if an event where I got to take the next flight, plenty of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, that's a
Or
cool idea.
and it doesn't matter if I land early because I just go to a WeWork or to a coffee shop and like
Yeah.
4 hours of like hardcore work that I'm going to do anywhere else anyway. So it
Right.
doesn't change any of the dynamics there.
You said oh, go ahead.
And then if it's like if it's like a morning meeting or morning thing I have to do, it's always
Yeah.
the night before, always. And then because I'm doing night before,
Mm-hmm.
the card I'm using it's like the United card. If
Mm-hmm.
I use it hotel, especially like one of their network hotels or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
then it is like triple points. So or
Right.
whatever how that works. So it
Right.
adds into my free flight calculus. And
Absolutely.
that's where like I don't care. Like, I don't really care, and I get a good night's sleep. That's like the number one thing I care about: a good night's sleep.
Is
So like,
sleep.
if I
Same.
can get there the night
Same.
before, perfect.
You said something I resonated with, which was when you are comfortable working remote, which means not just from your home, but remote, truly meaning out and about, a coffee shop in your city, grabbing a co-work spot, having a place that you go. The more you bounce around in your hometown, I think the easier work travel is, because you said it doesn't matter what city I'm in. I'm super comfortable after the experiences I had to have young of, oh, you said it. you've got extra time, right? You've got some hours to burn. You're not a deer in headlights stuck. You're like, it's fine. I'll go grab a coffee shop here. I'll work there. Maybe I'll do a little walk. Maybe I'll have some lunch and walk after lunch. Like, you have to realize adaptability, like moving your life and the patterns of your life to just a different city. It's the same as it's same. Anywhere you are in the world, everybody's like, I used to fantasize travel. Oh, I'm going to Paris. Oh, Italy. Oh, like even if it's like a luxury destination, right? Or this massive new country that you're like, oh my gosh, don't flip out. Like life, the more you realize life is happening there just as it is here, and it's the same. It's just a different language, and it's a different behavior of the culture that you kind of have to adapt into. You're fine. You land in that city, you do some movement, you get some food, you've got some hours to burn. Don't freak out. Like, it's just, you're still operating as you in a different place.
Right.
So if you can pivot and do like, make up 4 hours of a day until your thing starts, you don't have to panic. Right. And I think that mentality can shift anywhere.
This goes back into the pressure thing. Do you see, I think you can even see that it sounds very relaxing, even predictable, even though there's a lot of unpredictable elements.
Yeah.
That is where my headspace is a lot, right? So I go back into the poker, we were talking about the poker thing. It's predictable. I get to control the variables.
Yeah.
Now, what happens after those variables are fired is that's the unpredictable piece. But I've already accounted for whatever outcome happens. Who cares? Like, I'm already prepared.
And that goes back to my mindset. And I guess I'll close with this thought for today. It's travel, stress, projects, anything in this kind of entrepreneurial life that's a little bit more in flux. You control what you can control, right? And so you do the best preparation you can. You can control the elements that you are literally managing, and everything else you have to just let it come in as it's going to, and then be able to pivot and then strategically think about what needs to happen next for that to happen. Just like you missing a flight. Well, I controlled everything I could. I couldn't control that there was a detour on the way to the airport. I missed my flight. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, that didn't go as planned. However, I'm still 4 hours out from that meeting I needed. What's the next flight? Oh, great. I'll get in and I'll go straight to the meeting instead of
everything. There's a control in the unpredictability part that was planned ahead. And I think that's what both our systems do, right? We're planning for the idea that there's not a lot of stress. Yours is a lot of more like prepare for a lot of things, versus I'm more like just go with the flow. I think both of them are really solving the same thing, which is you want to go to your destination. You want to go into your meeting that you're traveling, pretty far for, with the idea that this is the only number one focus. Nothing else can get in the way. I think both of us solve it. We solve it differently, wildly differently, but it's the same objective.
I love that. Awesome. This was a fun chat. I really liked what we talked about today.
Cool. Well, that is it for this was a great episode. I love this kind of conversation. So
me too.
Definitely we got to bring it up in a future episode, but that is it. Thanks, Ann.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt.